Go next to Ari Laveau with the Alibi Albuquerque.
Hi, a question from Mauricio. Which of Jon Jon's weapons are you most concerned with?
Maurício, quais das armas do Jon Jones te preocupa mais?
Na verdade, ele é um lutador bem eclético, que ele é muito bom em todas as modalidades, só que com o Wesley é muito bom, né? Então, eu sempre vi ele como um atleta bem completo, né? Que é um cara muito bom em pé, bom do wrestling e bom no chão, né? Então, é difícil saber o que treinar, o que se preocupar, porque você tem que treinar tudo pra lutar com ele, né? Ele é um cara bem completo, então você tem que estar treinado em todas as modalidades, né? Isso que eu tô fazendo, né? Tô treinando Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, fazendo tudo porque ele é um atleta bem completo, mas eu apontaria como a parte do wrestling dele. Um ponto muito forte dele é o wrestling, com certeza.
Well, Jon Jones is a very complete fighter. He is good in all areas, but he has especially great wrestling. I always saw him as a very complete fighter, good on standing up, good on the ground, good in wrestling. And there's not really one weapon to be concerned the most. You have to train everything to fight him. You have to be prepared in all areas, and that's what I'm doing, training lots of Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, everything. But if I could point something out, I would say that his wrestling is his strongest point.
Thank you. And Jon, a lot has been made about the parallel between you and Shogun both being 23. Another parallel I'm seeing with you guys is that you're both really respectful, nice, likable outside of the cage, and quite vicious and methodical inside the cage. What's it like preparing for a guy as nice as Shogun, who I would imagine might be hard to find, anything bad to dig into?
Wait, are you asking am I having a hard time finding motivation because of how nice he is?
I was saying that, I guess I'm saying is it hard to fight someone who's just so nice? In a lot of the previous build up to your other fights, there has been a little bit of tension. Not that you say that you're not an emotional fighter, and I respect that, but I'm just wondering.
Shogun hasn't come out and said anything, off the walls or anything like that. He's a warrior, and that's the warrior's way. Real martial artists don't come out and disrespect each other and call each other's names and anything like that. I guess the only sense of motivation that I've gotten so far from Shogun was when his brother Ninja said, Shogun's gonna punch me in the face and he's gonna hurt me and he's gonna do all that. So I thought that was pretty funny. But I definitely look for motivation. I like it when fighters try to offend me. It gives me more to feed off of. And Shogun hasn't given me anything but that belt to feed off of. So to answer your question, I just think it's a respectful martial arts way of being, to not disrespect each other.
Thank you, guys.
This is Jen. Let's take a couple more questions and we'll wrap this up.
Okay. We'll take our next question from Dave Diebert, Post Media News. Hi, thanks again, guys. Just a quick one for Jon. You'd mentioned that the fight against Stefan was a real turning point for you. Did you really? I guess was that a night where you went from thinking that you probably, I probably think I can compete at the highest level, but maybe not knowing, to really knowing that you belong? Or did you? Okay.
Absolutely, yeah. When I got into the UFC, excuse me, give me 1 second. When I got into the UFC, I had a feeling of, give me 1 second, I'm sorry. When I got into the UFC, I was just grateful to be there, and I still didn't believe that it was even true, or I didn't believe that I was on that level, and I was like, can I stay? Being in the UFC and staying in the UFC is a completely different thing. So once I got that first win in the octagon, I was like, wow, I can compete. Once I beat Stefan Bonner after training for 6 months, I really had no real tactics, and I beat a veteran like Bonner, and that proved to me that, it doesn't matter who's better. Like Shogun, he's a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu. snotty-nosed wrestler with no techniques, and I beat Stephen. And now I'm a smart fighter. I've learned a lot, and I'm still a snotty-nosed wrestler, but I'm a snotty-nosed wrestler with way more tools and understanding on combat, and I believe that alone would be the great Mauricio Shogun.
All right, and just a quick follow-up. I know just maybe a couple more questions for everyone else, but so how much, if you could, how much is your big jump since you made this leap up the standings? How much of it has come from increased confidence, and how much of it has come from just increasing your skills? I mean, you just said it, that you're still only maybe scratching the surface of what you can do physically.
Right. Yeah, I think confidence is half the battle and belief, and I've actually gotten a lot better. I still have a lot of things that I don't do correct with, but just belief, like the quote that I really want to stick. It doesn't matter who's the better fighter; it matters who fights better, and I just believe that I'm going to fight better.
Okay. All right. Thanks again, John.
No problem.
For our last question, we'll go to John Morgan, MMA Junkie.
Thank you. If I can start with John, please. John, some people look at this as kind of a no-lose situation. If you win, you're a hero. You've done what nobody thought you could do. If you lose, you're still young, and this was a short-notice fight. Is that an accurate assessment, or do you view it differently?
I'm glad that you said that. If I win, I did something that no one thought I could do. Because, again, to touch back on those odds and the whole underdog thing, I'm definitely the underdog in this fight. That's the way that I look at it. I'm the new kid. I'm the guy who's, I've never won any belt or anything. I'm the underdog, and that's the way that I train, and that's the way that my coaches look at it, and that's the way that we all train. And it is a win situation for me. Like I said, I've been training for 3 years, and to be the guy who's been training since he was 9 years old, that would be a huge feat, and that's what I believe in my heart will happen. And so, yeah, it's a win situation, Shogun right now is considered the top of the cream of crop in the world. He's on literally everybody's pound for pound list. There's nothing, I have nothing to lose here. I'm going out there relaxed, and I'm just going to have fun with the whole situation. Not too many people get to say they fought a legend, and I'm fighting a legend only 3 years in my career, so I feel as if I had no pressure whatsoever. This whole being the favorite definitely hasn't gotten to me. I think it's baloney, and I'm ready to just go out there and have fun. The game that I love to play.
And John, I know you're not looking past this fight, but we have heard, and you mentioned it today, a potential fight with Rashad. You guys have both been quoted recently saying you're opening up to it a little bit. Is that a change in philosophy between you guys, or are people just making too much out of that right now?
With all due respect to you, as a reporter and everything, and I want to make it clear to all the reporters that I absolutely hate when people mention Rashad Evans, especially throughout this training camp. He's a friend of mine, but I'm fighting Mauricio Shogun, one of the best fighters that's been around for a long time. And for people to even be mentioning Rashad Evans right now, I think it's ludicrous. Rashad is not in my mind. He's not in my being. He has absolutely zero to do with my heart and who I am right now. Right now it's me versus John Jones, and right now I'm beating all the weakness out of myself. I'm beating all the give up out of myself. I'm beating the lack of cardio. I'm beating the lack of confidence. Any sign of weakness that's within my heart right now, I'm getting rid of it. And the fact that people are bringing Rashad, it almost angers me. Rashad has nothing to do with Shogun, and I think from here on out, I won't even answer a question about Rashad.
All right, thanks, John. And for Shogun, please. Shogun, the last time you had knee surgery, the performance afterwards really was a little suspect. I'm curious if there's any concern with the cardio, what lessons were learned and how you're approaching things differently this time around.
Maurício, a última vez que você fez uma cirurgia no joelho, a sua volta, a performance não foi tão boa assim. De alguma forma isso te preocupa e como que você administrou essa situação de alguma forma diferente dessa vez?
Não, isso não me preocupa porque a época que eu perdi meu joelho eu estava em transação do pré do UFC, então não estava acostumado ao octágono ainda. E aquela época que eu voltei eu tinha perdido 2 vezes, não foi uma vez não. Então eu perdi 2 vezes e fiquei quase 1 ano e 8 8 meses parado, se eu não me engano. E essa vez eu já estou adaptado ao octagon, com certeza a UFC é minha casa hoje, com certeza eu sou 100% adaptado ao UFC, e eu fiquei na verdade 2 vezes parado, né? Eu estou treinando para saúde já há 6 meses, então é uma data assim que estou mexendo tranquilo, estou mexendo super confortável e estou pronto para a luta.
Well, that doesn't worry me at all. When I had surgery and came back last time, I was transitioning from Pride to the UFC, and I wasn't used to the octagon yet. I wasn't used to the space and how to fight in that environment yet. And also back then I had 2 knee surgeries in a row and was sidelined for somewhat like a year and 8 months or something, which is totally different from this time. I have been sidelined for 10 months and I have been training already for about 6 months for this fight. And so I'm feeling very comfortable, I'm feeling very well, and I'm ready for the fight.
Thank you. And finally for Shogun as well, Jon hasn't shown very many weaknesses in his run to the title. What is it that you think you present differently to him than other opponents have in the past?
O Jon Jones não demonstrou muitas fraquezas até hoje na corrida dele até chegar a disputar o cinturão. O que você acha que você traz de diferente para essa luta que os outros adversários do Jon Jones não tinham?
Na verdade, meu pensamento de treinamento é para todos os atletas, né? Acho que quando voltar qualquer um que seja, meu pensamento é estar pronto em todas as áreas, né? Em todas as modalidades. Até para não ser surpreendido, né? Então, com certeza, eu tenho que treinar aquilo que eu sei fazer e treinar também aquilo que o meu adversário faz de bom, né? Então, esse é o pensamento. Acho que o Júnior é um cara bem eclético, bem completo, e eu não posso ser surpreendido, né? Nenhuma área. Então, eu tenho que estar completo, eu tenho que estar pronto em todas as áreas da luta. Então, é isso que eu penso. Eu penso assim, quando eu vou dar qualquer adversário. Eu realmente deveria ser umas lutas fáceis, mas eu penso desse jeito.
Well, actually my way of training and approaching training for any fight, it's always the same for any fighters, because I know that I have to be well prepared in all areas and be ready for anything that comes up, even not to be surprised. So I have to train for everything that I need to train, and obviously I also have to train for what Jon Jones does well. And that's what I did. I know, like I said, that Jon Jones is a very complete fighter, so once again, it's always the same approach. I have to be ready for everything and train in all areas, and that's my way of thinking and how I approach training for fights.
Thank you both.
All right, thanks everybody for taking part today. It was a great call, and we look forward to seeing you out east next week.